Alright, so hello, this is going to be a battle report between my Warriors of Chaos and a Vampire Count army. Now, I'm going to be narrating over this, but basically, people have been wanting to see my trolls, so here they are. So there on the left, you can see I already got 3 troll hordes, Chimera, there'll be another Chimera coming in, and then I basically just got Throgg and the Nurgle Demon Prince. You know, he's just a level 1, he has a scroll, kind of usual stuff after that type thing. But if we look on the Vampire side, over there, he has a big huge block of zombies at the top there. Then he's going to be having a bunker of 20 zombies, and there's his Master Necromancer. Then inside the trees is some Grave Guard with shields. Oh, the whole world just moved. But they have the Banner Barrows. Then you see the 9 Crypt Horrors. Then he has a deep unit there of about 40 ghouls, and in there he has his Vampire Lord, who's the Blender Lord. And then he has his Night Bus with about 10 Black Knights with lances. There's a Blender Vampire in there, and then otherwise there's a White King. And here I am going now. On the top he has some dogs. Don't care about them too much, so let's move right up to them. He also has a Vargolf behind the woods there. So after everything just marches up, I just do my magic phase here. I'm going to do Spirit Leash to that Vargolf. And, I didn't really roll that well on it, but I mean, it's my only spell. I also use it. He didn't dispel it. I roll it. He has bad leadership. And, right there goes the Vargolf. So that was a really good start to my turn. That's really all I got. So on his turn, he's going to be trying to charge me there. But he's actually going to be measuring this. And here comes, roll your dice. Oh, the whole world moves again. I kept on trying to do this, trying to get the right angle. But here's going to be going for his charges, and he's out by an inch. So that's great, because with all of his lances, I'd love to get the charge on him. Really, it's a combat I think it's going to favor me anyway, because I could just puke on him and kill his guys anyway. But hey, I might as well take away whatever advantage I can. Apart from that, he's not too much of a rush to get in my face, but he actually is still moving up there. I think this is something he didn't really need to do. He could have stayed back and, made more units, shot me with gaze and stuff, but, his whole units are moving up there. And I guess a big thing to say about this, too, is that we are trying to play this whole game in about an hour 10 minutes. So we are pushing really hard. He's not a fool, so he didn't charge until my units are at the top there. We're going to get into the magic phase. And in this phase here, it's not many dice. Luckily he channeled twice, so it was 5 dice to 2. But even then, really the big things here is that he's going to be going for some little buff spells and things. But for the most part, all I really care about stopping is the rerolls on this unit here, the Van Hels. So I scroll that actually, and that's it. So now on my side, we're doing Stupidity, and I failed with my River Troll one. So they're not going to go into there, so that's disappointing. I go and I try and charge one Chimera to try and slow them down, but I fail that charge. I go to charge here, roll double 1, so that fails. And so all I really have is Throgg's unit going in. And that's, I was supposed to be engaging him all the way across the board, so that really wrecks it. Otherwise, my Chimera and my Demon Prince fly up to the flank to go and try and threaten them. I'm going to try and Spirit Leech his Master Necromancer, but that's not going to work. But what should have happened is I thought I'd go into nice, mess them up, slide over, and block the ghouls. I was then supposed to mess up the Crypt Horrors and slide over to stop the Grave Guard. And the other trolls were supposed to go to zombies and crush them and go to the bunker. But now that these guys are all by themselves, yeah, it's really bad. But one thing you should probably notice there is that he did 2 wounds to me with all those attacks. I made tons of regens. My attacks go back, and of course, it's so many attacks that after everything's done and we're done crumbling and things like that, he's down to 3 guys. That unit's pretty much done, but again, they're just out there by themselves, and now he's going to be able to get flank and stuff. So we're going to kind of skip ahead here in time as he had to deal with a customer, but now he's back here, and now it's time for his counterattack. So we talked about how he couldn't just wheel here, but if he moves up, then he can turn. So he gets his Grave Guard into the flank, so that's going to be a little scary. The dogs go after the Chimera, I'll get that, and otherwise he's just charging across the board. So pretty sure I beat the Knights. He's defending his bunker there to make sure my Demon Prince doesn't get to his Master Necromancer. Goes for magic. And really the biggest thing here that I didn't want to happen was raising up those crypt hordes. I don't really care about anything. The big thing he was going for here is Van Hales to get re-rolls. And for the most part, I know the dangerous thing here is his characters, who's going to be having to always strike first anyway. So, sure, he'll get a few more attacks from the other stuff, but I really saved it just to stop the invocation. And, apart from that, that's all I really cared. He actually here does, I believe it was a gaze to my Chimera here, and I just, I'm fine. But now we're getting to the combats. I'm going over here. I'm going to be killing off all those dogs, and I don't even bother doing my breath, because once I do that, they're going to crumble. I'm just taunting him which one we should be doing next. And we decided to do the night one first. So that's making me feel good, because I'm going to be doing some pretty good killing here. So he's rolling with his Blender Lord, going to see what he does, and there's my regens. I take 1 wound. It seems every single time when I'm going to be regens against his vampires, I'll be just rolling like a champ. So this is pretty nice. There, look, good regens again. And, there's only so much you can do. Even just going to re-rolling his hits, it gets really reduced once I start throwing in these regens here. I guess that wasn't so bad, but I'm just going to puke on him now, and then blah, there goes 8 knights. So that's pretty devastating. When you add up all the crumble and stuff, he loses a few more, and pretty much what he does, I'm not actually sure about this, but he puts a wound on his White King rather than just losing the unit. And to me, I don't really care, because I'm just going to be puking on him anyway. Up here, we're having a challenge between Throgg and his Vampire Lord. And I know he's a Blender Lord, but really, between my regens and stuff, I should survive with the 1 wound, and then with the puking stuff, kill him. But he did exactly 4 wounds, killed Throgg, and that's bad, because now he has a lot of guys. I mean, hopefully I can go and just basically kill a lot of his ghouls and his graveguard to make these things up. But he has a lot of static combat res here, and plus with all these guys here re-rolling their hits, it really is a lot of damage being done to my trolls. And actually, while I'm waiting here for this, I'm still thinking, like, I'm taking my wounds, doing my regens, I'll be fine, right? I got a lot of attacks. So here I'm attacking against the ghouls, doing all my attacks. And it really isn't that many. Do my attacks against the crypt horrors, and when we work everything out and he does his stuff, it's just like a dude. And then I'm going to be doing my stuff on the other side against the Graveguard. Again, not very much. Just killing a couple of guys with stomps and everything. So we're going here. We're adding it all up. I'm still in my mind in a delirium that maybe I didn't lose this combat. But yeah, I lost by a ton. I broke. And we're looking at the way that the charges are going to go with and all this. We're going to be going with the most ranks. He goes after me at the Crypt Horrors and catches me. The other 2 are going to restrain. But this is a huge chunk of points that has lost, because that is the, all the 630 points for the Troll Horde, and then also lost Throgg as well. So, and I really didn't do that much damage in return. Like, if he would have done that to me, but let's say I killed his Vampire Lord, right? Totally worth it. But here, I just basically lost that center, and now stupidity will be kind of an issue, or it would have been if that stuff would have been there. But we're going to charge time now again. The Troll's going into the Graveguard. Otherwise, I'm just trying to send everything to try and get that Vampire now. So all my flyers going. I'm going to try and do some Spirit Leech. I first crash into a tree, but when I do this, I miscast to go off. I don't do any damage, or sorry, I do 1 wound with the Spirit Leech, and then I Dimensional Cascade, kill myself, and my Chimera goes off the board. So this is another huge swing, and at this point, I'm wondering, like, man, I am screwed. But, I mean, hey, I still got 2 Troll Hordes. They're in combats. They can be earning their points. So down here against the vampires, again, I'm rolling really good regens for this mini Blender regular Lord. And now I'm just going to be puking on his stuff, and he's just going to crumble and die. So, bam, there's a good chunk of points, but still. Demon Prince, just Dimensional Cascade. But, these things happen. It's just one of those things you gotta laugh and deal with it. But now he's running with his Graveguard. He's gonna do like 1 wound. And now here comes the attacks. I mean, I can't even hold them all in my hand. There's so many attacks coming here. So, We're just talking a little bit here because I screwed up, and where I should have been rolling 4+, I did my 3+. But this meant that with the math on the to wounds, normally it's 3s, roll as 4s. It's one of those things where you can just, if you have two logical people, work these things out. And of course, I go and I crush all of them. After stomps, it's enough so that they're all going to crumble. Bam, the whole unit's gone. Overrun, I'm now into the crypt hordes, which is great because again, with me losing all these points, I need to be grabbing all I can. So there we go, looking pretty good here now. Going back to his turn, and for these points, he's just going to charge in. He probably could have stayed there and I'd just be stupid, but why not just go into me and crush me? Otherwise, over here, being very careful so I can't get to his bunker, and we're basically back to magic time. And for right here, actually, this is the time where he does the gaze, I believe, and stuff like that. But yeah, his magic phases were pretty poor all the way across. He had some times we try and cast some spells, and he just failed to cast. I believe that's actually this one here, where he's trying some spell, failed to cast. It's like, oh, well, you can't actually cast with him anymore, and that's it. So this is going to be his gaze in the gash. So right there did nothing to me, and now he's going to be I believe getting in some re-rolls here. And I didn't really care about the re-rolls on this side. I mean, he can kind of go crazy and stuff. But all I care about is stopping the raises, right? I'm not going to let him raise up. And again, taunting which combat we're going to do. And yeah, there goes this Vampire Lord. I do my regens. Don't lose too much. And then he's going to be doing all the rest of his stuff. But man, I mean, this is the thing where, ghouls are not bad. If you give them re-rolls, they're doing even better. He does not have re-rolls. And in the end, the trolls have so many attacks. So after we break this stuff down, he has so many attacks here. 40 attacks with poison. Fun times. And even after that's done, I roll my regens. I'm like 2 trolls down, so I rolled very well for my regens. Here comes a big fistful of dice going back for attacks. And these ghouls are going to be in some trouble here. So after we work out everything here, where I'm going to be killing all these guys and crumble, yeah, it's going to be everyone except for the Vampire Lord. I just went and wiped out the entire unit in one big go. So we just do some quick math just to make sure it's all right, and bam, they all just crumble away, and there's his Blender Lord. And now I'm feeling pretty good. I shift over so I'd be still getting all those attacks. But looking back, I really should have gone for ranks because I'm really only having 2 rows of guys attacking, and I'm not going to be doing much damage. I'm way better having a better chance just going with the combat static res. Over here, of course, this will be an easy fight, but now my trolls will have to be dealing with stupidity, which I fail. And otherwise, I try and think of what to do with the Chimera. Decide, let's just throw it in. There's no magic phase to care about now, so we just go to fighting, and I'm killing a bunch of zombies. I actually do my breath weapon this time too, just get 3 hits, but it's one of these things where it's a lot of zombies, but you know what? That Chimera over time will beat them all. Sure, he might do a wound or 2 to me over time, but yeah, I'm just going to keep on mashing these guys up, and hey, if nothing else, I'm just going to keep them in place. Eventually, maybe I'll pass a stupidity and get to charge him. But, yeah, pretty much he cannot do too much to me. So here I'm attacking the Vampire Lord now. And at the end of everything, he has like 1 save to do. He makes it. And luckily, he had only done 1 wound to me, so it worked out to be a tie. So I was able to reform now to ranks. We were talking about how if he just would have done like 1 more wound, I would have been steadfast in a 4, and I could have lost a bunch more points. So I got very lucky for not going into ranks last time, and now I'm not going to take that chance again. So I'm all good to go. So we're back to his turn again, and, he's doing his magic. He does Curse of Years. I don't really care about that too much because I can just actually use my power dice to dispel it on my turn. And, yeah, it's not that really big of a deal. Otherwise, he's going to be doing some Invocation here, getting back some zombies. Not that too big of a deal because, like I said, I'll just kill him again, and eventually maybe I'll pass that Leadership 4 and get the charge in. I believe right now we're on turn 4. But, I got 2 chances to get a Leadership 4 and try and get a charge in there. It might happen. But, of course, the biggest thing is if this Vampire dies, that's going to be really it, because it'll just crumble. So we do our attacks here. killing off more zombies. He's trying his best to attack me, and even with all these rerolls, I mean, when you need 5s the hits and 6s the wound, nothing just goes through. And I got a 4+ regen, killing a bunch of dudes back. You know how it is. Here he is rolling against my guys. Again, just failed 1 out of 4 regens. Just doing so awesome here. Do my attacks back, do nothing. But when we work it out here, he's going to be down to just 1 wound. So on my turn, fails to stupidity again. Go into the woods. And otherwise, it's just kind of combat time. So we just do the vampire one, because this is what's really important. Go through here. He just crumbles, because he just did not any wounds to me. And then at the top there, kill more zombies. You know, crunch them using my tail attacks, thunder stomps. But I mean, now with his Vampire Lord dead, it's just going to be him crumbling and eventually me killing his stuff. So, I mean, we're just going to kind of roll this one out here, shake hands, and that's going to be really it. Because again, we're trying to be fast and get it done, and that's the game.